I'm Patsi Mukherjee,
I'm Phumelele Kunene.
and we are
Bonono.africa.
Bonono.africa is an entity or platform that houses two projects. One, namely, being hybrid spaces. Hybrid spaces speaks to the marriage or the synergy of using properties as exhibition spaces, converting existing properties that are either on the market or that are underutilized, giving them a new lease on life. We believe art has the opportunity to not only educate, enhance, but it has an opportunity to create an environment where people can share in culture, learn from culture, and most importantly, become culture. Our second platform, being Art Beyond the Gallery, is essentially an alternative avenue to what the current infrastructure in the art industry allows for people to not only create but consume art. So Art Beyond the Gallery is essentially a pipeline or a way for artists to find a footing outside of the existing gallery and art fair environment. The word Bonono speaks to three elements. One being having an ability, the second one expanding it further to creativity, but the mother of them then becomes art. So through art, the ability to be able to take a thought, to take an idea and bring to life is nourished by the thought of understanding that creativity becomes the fuel that gives the ability and opportunity to shine. And the end product then becomes art, which is a reflection. The meaning of Bonono in our context speaks to three very important elements, namely the ability or the word ability. Ability essentially speaks to us being able to take our thoughts, our ideas, our experiences, and being able to put them on paper or to make them tangible. The second one being art. Art is seen as a tool, as a platform to do exactly that, showcase ability. Bonono.africa rests on a bed of three elements, three very important elements. One being ability, second being creativity, and the last one being art. So the three create a beautiful synergy that basically explains the journey of Bonono. Let's start with ability. Having an ability is essentially being able to take your thoughts, your experiences, and your ideas and bringing them out into the world. The second one that fuels this process is creativity. Creativity is something that's innate in all of us, and it's something that fuels us to take ideas, to take our thoughts, to take our experiences and bring them to life. And the act of bringing this all to life is then showcased through art. Art is the biggest showcase of ideas, thoughts, and experiences.
So, as the curator, what I'm ideally looking to achieve is to create experiences when I am curating the works and coming up with the shows. Currently, the show that we have right now is what we call Agundlela Engaye Ekhaya, which is a Zulu idiom that means there is no road that does not lead home. And through the show, the artists are exploring fragments of home and the spaces that we come from through the intertwined themes of memory, identity, and belonging. So we are exploring home in such a way that it's a concept that's not just confined to walls, but it is spiritual, it is mental, it is emotional. And the artists are mirroring the spaces that we come from, the cultural inheritance that we have, and the contested histories that we mirror through our work that really come to show who we really are and where we are going. So with the whole show, what I was trying to achieve is to not only create an experience with the art, but merge it with the property. So the magic behind the space that was chosen is how it aligns so well with the curatorial theme. The property was first initially a home, which was then transformed into a commercial space, and the reason why it aligns so well with the theme and the show is because of its origins and how we are through the show now taking it back to what it originally was. So it communicates and aligns so well with the theme. And this is what we're trying to do with hybrid art spaces, is that we're not just trying to find properties to host exhibitions in, but we are trying to see how there's synergy and how the property aligns with the art, and how we can merge those two things to not only present art but to communicate a whole cultural experience, and how the works and the property merge together to communicate the same idea and explore the same experience.
Our journey to prototyping Bonono.africa has led us to creating two distinct segments. Hybrid Spaces in particular was able to tap into the residential real estate market, where a residential home that was later converted to a commercial office found its way back to where it started, into a home again. However, a home through an idea, through a culture, and through an experience curated by the group show Ayikho Indlela Engayi Ekhaya. However, when it comes to art beyond the gallery, the approach is to then tap into another avenue of the real estate market, which is the commercial or industrial environment. In these environments, the properties are set up based on what the current utilization is, or the type of business that finds itself in that commercial or industrial space. Art beyond the gallery then becomes a key partner that then transforms the space and gives it an opportunity to co-create an experience that was not initially there. So marrying a particular industry and art and bringing to life a synergy that not only enhances the space but gives people an opportunity to experience it in a way they've never experienced it before. More so, it gives us also an opportunity to now take it outdoors. So accessibility to art is a common theme that us as Bonono.africa feel we want to address, and we're in the process of addressing, of making art accessible. So essentially, where we find our strength, where we find our value proposition, is in creating an ecosystem that speaks to three important elements. One being people, being our audience, being our collectors. The second one being Bonono, or our creatives, our people with abilities, the artists that makes the artworks, that creates the product essentially, that is presented to the market. And the last piece, or the last element, being the spaces and the environments of which this art that the artists create finds a place to exist, and essentially creates a melting pot of these three elements. These three elements come together in commercial spaces and in outdoor spaces. In particular, outdoor spaces, creating murals and street art gives us an opportunity to communicate art to new audiences that otherwise would never have experienced art before. So our ecosystem basically exists to nourish and nurture a market of people who have an interest and a natural curiosity towards art. But secondly, to help artists and creators find their footing in a world that has different avenues of them finding their path to success. And lastly, from an audience and from a collector's perspective, we are finding a footing of creating an environment where people can be enticed and can be educated in how the art industry works and in how artists' journeys are curated. And they can then be a part of that in a way that they not only invest in works as placeholders or as artifacts, but they in turn have an opportunity to invest in artists themselves and in the growth of the artist, which then in turn leads to the growth of the artworks.
So apart from having art, experiencing art in different property spaces, we also try to go beyond the gallery by also bringing art to the people, taking the art to commercial spaces where people are already existing and experiencing the space, but now we put the exhibition in there so that the work is also taken to the people. And through the exhibition that is called The Melting Pot of Soweto, where the artist was exploring how in Soweto all these different cultures are able to come together and live in harmony. And the other exhibition, which was a photography exhibition, Umsebenzi, that explored the ancient way of making photographs in relation to how we preserve our culture through the medium. And what I found through those experiences, bringing art to that commercial space, is how the people interacted with the work, how the work was received, and how we are also educating people that are outside of the art space in terms of how exhibitions are experienced and how art is experienced. Also gave us new ideas on how audiences are able to receive and understand art. And I think having taking art outside of the gallery informs how it is experienced, how it is created, and how it is received by the audience.
Speaking of how art beyond the gallery creates an opportunity for different shared experiences, one thing that actually stood out in our exhibitions was how we unintentionally created an opportunity for audiences to unpack and experience art in a slightly more detailed way. So instead of just seeing the artworks and leaving the interpretation to the audience, there was an opportunity for each of the artists who were exhibiting to actually unpack each process, each artwork, and essentially what makes the artwork what it is. That then created an opportunity for audiences to ask questions, to engage, and to better inform their interpretation of what they see, what they experience, and ultimately what can be their takeaway, essentially making them one with the artwork. And that the strength of that is essentially cultivating a culture and a way of understanding art as not something that's audience driven, but it's something that can be co-created, and one becoming a collector that then becomes a centerpiece of understanding the value of art, because if it's something that's shared, then it makes sense for one to invest and possibly share. Bonono.africa, Batu, Botu, Bopel.
So essentially, we are not just exhibition makers, but we are cultural makers.
Another key theme that's close to our hearts is one where we want to not only partner with artists, but create an enabling environment that makes them understand, that makes them be in a position where they know they can exist outside of any confines, outside of any infrastructure that currently exists. The current infrastructure as it is must not be a stumbling block, but must be a yardstick for them to understand where they are in their journey, but most importantly, where they can be.
Our intention is to also cultivate new collectors and educate people about the value of art and help them appreciate and understand art holistically. So currently there is a market for new collectors. Some of them don't actually know that they are art collectors, but through the experiences that we've created, they have started to appreciate art and they understand its importance in their world and in their spaces. We are able to cultivate a new breed of art collectors and help them and nurture them in their journey through collecting art and experiencing art in this kind of way together. So Bonono.africa is intentionally cultivating a new breed of art collectors, ones that didn't initially exist within the pool of collectors that currently exist in the industry, which consist of entrepreneurs and people in the corporate space. But through our work, we have managed to cultivate a new breed of collectors that consists of youth, family members, couples, just general individuals, which we bring to our experiences and our exhibitions, educate them on the value of art, the intention of art, and how this comes to now play a role in their lives and in their spaces. So we bring them and they come and contribute into the sector and the existing pool of collectors, which now diversifies the collectors that we have and also contributes to the sector and the industry, which then benefits not only the artists, but the collectors and the ecosystem at large.